Hey everybody, we're back.
We are back, and today we're featuring Amethyst.
Well, first of all, let's tell everybody who we are. Crystal Guardians, Rodney and Trish, and we're back. It's been a while, and we've got a better plan for how we're going to do this time. So today
we're going to talk about Amethyst, and we're going to share with you some of our personal experiences with it. One of the first things that I'd like to share is on Rodney's right is what's called a geode, a cathedral, or a church. So I always wondered why they call it a cathedral or a church. And what I've come to find out is the reason they call it that is because when they're tall and slender like that, they replicate the arches that you find in many churches and cathedrals. So now I'll let Rodney go. If he pauses, I'll jump in.
So we all know that amethyst is found all over the world, literally. We have a few pieces here today from different places around the world. And, part of this, we can read what it says. There's a little thing we'll read real quick for you, but it's ridiculous because I don't want to read it. I want to talk about how it does for me. So I'm an extreme type A personality. In fact, some people say I'm more than anal. So, it is what it is, and my daughter's behind the camera laughing her ass off because she thinks this is funny, right? But it's the truth. There was a period of time when I was an actual addict, more than 35 years ago. I was stupid and a kid back then. Most young guys until they're 30 or 35 don't grow up, and that's kind of when I started growing up, was about 30. And before that, I take no responsibility for my actions. Anyway, because of all that, I learned about addiction. And amethyst to me is extremely calming. I have this all over my house, and the reason is it's calming for me. And whatever the books say is cool.
And it's pretty.
Whatever the books say is cool, and I get that. But what works for me, because we consider ourselves to be Crystal Guardians, and our shop here we consider our shop to be a healing center, okay? And so some of the tools, there's so many tools, you can use darn near anything as a tool if you really want to. And so even though this doesn't represent a screwdriver or a crescent wrench or anything like that, it's a tool of a different style, okay?
Tool of the soul.
And so amethyst comes in many different forms, and we've got a few of them on here for you from a few different places around the world. And I just know that, like I said, for me, it's so calming. And that's why I wanted to bring the show back with Amethyst to be our first feature, was so that everybody got a chance to know, one, we have tons of it here in the shop in many different shapes, forms, and from pretty much every country I can think of where I can get it. Some of the countries just don't export it because it's not a big deal for them. A lot of the countries do export it because it is a good deal for them.
I was just watching a video that there's some new finds of some amazing amethyst, big crystals that they're pulling out of Australia. So I'm guessing maybe we might see that on the market soon.
Maybe we have to fly to Australia and get some.
Okay.
I volunteer for tribute.
I like kangaroos and koala bears.
Notice our crew always volunteers for trips.
Well, she has to do the publicity. So I want to go back to what Rodney touched on for a minute. So when people come in looking for stones, when they're in a recovery process with some type of addictive behavior, and addictive behavior can be anything from eating to drugs to smoking to drinking to M&Ms, which was me.
To arguing, to just about anything.
Any addictive behavior. So this is about release of behaviors that don't work, i.e. negative things. It's also a third eye stone, so it helps to open up that third eye, that pineal gland. And it's also a stone to assist you on your spiritual journey. So it's a very powerful stone, and it starts out as a quartz, as you can see here. What happens in the case of a geode, cathedral, church, whatever you choose to call it. There's really whatever you want to call it, or a big chunk of wonka, that works. But you start out with an agate layer, and then the quartz crystals will form in the agate layer, and through time and heat and compression, condensation, or whatever it takes, the amethyst will form, the coloring will come in, and then sometimes you get lucky enough to have beautiful little calcite crystals in there. And those a lot of times will glow under black light, which is one of our favorite things to do. We didn't bring a black light, we're not going to get one. We'll do that another time when we show, ooh, fun things. And this one has some big calcite in it, and this is a super cool. What happened here is a very large one of these actually somehow got broke, and this is a big chunk out of it. And this is a stunning piece. This one is southern Brazil. Wasn't this one Uruguay? Yeah, this is the deeper, darker purple. This one is Uruguay.
One of the things that kind of tells you a little bit about it, Brazilian amethyst can be really light to not quite as dark as the Uruguayan amethyst, but one of the big differences and the big giveaways is that of the Uruguayan that I've seen, and I've seen an awful lot, but not everything, but an awful lot. And what I've seen is the crystals usually don't get real big because something about it. They like to stay smaller and they like to stay darker. In fact,
juicy, grapey.
In fact, you can actually see some of this that is almost look like burnt black. Especially sometimes when it first comes out of the ground down there, some of those pieces are damn near black, and it's actually blue, but
they call it black amethyst.
It's a bluish purple, and they call it black amethyst. So, but that's one of the names that they give to the stuff that comes out of Uruguay. There's not near as much of it in Uruguay as there is in Brazil. I'm told there's a mountain range that's somewhere from 150 miles to maybe 300 miles long down there, and it's got thousands of little mines down there, and the locals go out and they mine it, and it's a way for them to put food on their table. So we try to buy from all over the place, especially when we find out that we're actually getting stuff from some of the smaller villages, because we're looking to assist them. And it also helps us because when our intention is to assist the people we're buying it from, those villages and things like that, it also works on the other end because our intention was pure when we got it, and it continues to be that way when we put it out there as a healing crystal.
We work with a lot of miners that are ethically sourcing crystals. And a lot of the people that we work with are energy workers as well, so that's a big plus. So we're always looking for great quality at a great price. That's one of the things is that we do go for quality, but I want to show you a different amethyst. This guy that looks kind of frosty, this is a natural amethyst. This is actually from Bolivia. The reason that we have this piece, because this piece is easy to handle, but we have one that's ginormous. Bolivia, the crystals, they're lighter, they're frosted. They do have some clearer stuff as well, but these things can get to be really huge. But they are fabulous and a beautiful, beautiful energy. And all these pieces are for sale, and if you were to ask us, shoot us a comment or whatever, we can assist you on purchasing these. We do ship. But this one is actually celestial in its growth formation, where you can see like all the little crystal family climbing up the back here of this one, which makes this one an celestial. So this is a beautiful Bolivian amethyst. And I'm going to go over a couple other types. These are Rodney's favorites. These are Bahia from Bahia, Brazil. It's either Bahia or Bahia. Maybe I don't say it right, but it's Bahai.
I thought it was just Baha'i.
Well, you can say it however you want. I'm not Brazilian. I don't know how to pronounce it.
You just come in and tell us we want those things that Rodney likes, and we'll all figure it out.
But these are absolutely amazing. They can be used as a wand. You can actually create a stand and stand them up, but they've got phantoms in them. And I believe that one actually has some citrine in it. A lot of them are ametrine. There's smoky amethyst in there. But these are beautiful. These are natural. And these are northern Brazil area. And they will form like in clusters, and they form straight up like that. So they're just amazing.
Extremely energetic.
Very.
They are extremely energetic. You know, and then we have something like this, which somebody tries to tell us this is a Vogel type cut. Maybe. Are the angles proper? No. So I'm not telling people it's a Vogel type cut, although it was cut to convince people that it's a type
It
of
is
Vogel.
cut to be a Vogel type. It is not cut to be an actual Vogel. That's a whole nother ball game. One of our previous shows, we went into length on Vogels. And maybe we'll do that again, but for right now,
If we do,
this is a
I'll bring-
powerful energy mover tool.
Let's just say one of the future ones, I will bring in 2 real Vogels for people to see. They're 144 facets. They're amazing.
But this
What's interesting
piece,
is this on this
look
one
at the
is
rainbows.
thank you. I was just getting to that.
Well, turn it so they can see it.
I don't know if they can see it or not because
Turn it.
it's right here.
Turn it.
Can you see that, Kim? Can you see that? Yes, no,
Yes. Now
yeah.
it picks up on camera.
See those
Good.
rainbows? Look how beautiful that is. So this is beautiful because you can both send and receive
So
energy
while
with
she's there, let's back up so you can see what's in this one. Can you see?
Oh, that is ametrine.
Can you see the different?
You can see the phantoms. You can actually see the records on the faces.
Oh yeah.
The records show up on the face there. So these pieces,
So some people think that just because it's flat like that, it's been polished. But I can tell you by looking at it, this has not been polished because you can still see
all the pyramidal
you
shapes
see the
on the
pyramidal
face.
shapes in it. Okay, and it's hard to show you on camera.
Look at the phantoms.
But hopefully you can see something there.
Turn it.
And then
flip it
if you look
that
like
way.
this,
There
can you see
go.
the phantoms down in there, Kim? Can you see that? at
Now
all?
you can. Woo.
Yeah.
So this is,
Look at that.
there's so many things. Everybody asks me what my favorite is. My most favorite is citrine, okay? However, amethyst is probably my second,
Do you want to hold on to that?
okay?
Sure.
So as you can see here, this,
I get to be the light.
so this,
Oh, strobe.
where's this one from?
So that's dream amethyst from Brazil, also known as chevron amethyst. And this is a really light colored one, and this is a darker colored one, a little different form.
But you can actually see why they would call it chevrons with this one.
It's the chevron
That's why
pattern.
they call this one more dream, because you don't see the chevron patterns.
Well, they actually, somebody trademarked this type of amethyst, dream amethyst. Look at the bottom, this one is super cool. But these are great little free forms, and the reason that it's called a free form is it doesn't have any real shape or design to it. It's like when you go out freestyle skiing, you just kind of go wahoo and do whatever. And this is kind of a wahoo whatever shape. So there we go.
Our daughter is freaking out. She's never been to one of our shows before, so.
Wahoo!
Wahoo! This piece is kind of a flame cut. It just doesn't have quite the twist to it. But this is a stunning, stunning piece of amethyst. It is absolutely beautiful. And the thing about a piece like this, if you were to use this as a generator in the center of your crystal grid, the power and stuff that's going to come out from this is phenomenal. It has 4 sides. It has a slight twist to it. So it's actually going to vortex your energy with all the love and light of amethyst. How beautiful is that?
So let's look at this one.
Let's look at this one, the big guy.
Yes, let's.
So here's what's interesting. This one is completely polished.
Wow.
So chances are that something happened to the crystal, and so they decided to rescue it by polishing it and making it look as good as they could.
They preserve the integrity of the stone itself.
And what's interesting is, especially with amethyst, there are so many rainbows in
Is
amethyst.
it better with or without the light?
With.
Okay, light back.
Can you see these amethyst rainbows here?
Yeah, I'm just zooming in on it.
Yeah?
That's a phenomenal piece.
Yeah,
Okay.
looks great.
So you don't find pieces like this very often. Trish and I were collectors before we started the company, and we have continued choosing with an eye of a collector. So we have some pieces that are definitely lean towards collector pieces, and we also make sure that we do our best to have pieces pretty much in all of the different price points, so it's affordable for pretty much everybody. If you have a lot of tension in your home,
Look at this.
I would grab a piece of amethyst and I would put it in my living room, or if my kitchen, living room, and dining room were one big room, I would try to put it to where you could feel it in the whole room. Towards the end of our show, we're going to show you a big, beautiful piece that we have here, and it's big enough. We point it at the front door, so when people walk in, people that get energy usually stop and take a deep breath. Oh, and they release all the negativity, and they're just like, oh, this feels so
And just
good.
relax into their experience.
So for those of you that can come to our shop, we're located at
Does
3419
he look
South
better
State
with the light or
Street.
without?
Mother.
I'm trying to make a point here, and you're making fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you.
Treasures
I'm
and
having fun.
Creations is located at 3419 South State Street here in South Salt Lake, and that is 84115 for the zip code. We also have a phone number of 801-679-1717. We're on the internet in all kinds of different forms, and the daughter will take care of that because she handles all that stuff.
She'll put all the information on there: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Etsy.
We ship everywhere except Antarctica, and as soon as I can find a scientist down there, I'm going to ship them a damn piece so that I can claim I've gone to every continent.
I love crystals.
We
I
can
used
send
to
a
tell
penguin
everybody
crystal to a penguin.
I used to
Oh,
tell
yeah,
everybody
we even
that
have penguin crystals.
I used to tell everybody that I've shipped to every continent. So this one lady walked up while I was saying that to somebody, and the one lady that walked up said, "Really? Who'd you ship to in Antarctica?" And I
Happy
looked at her and
feet.
said, "Really?" Period. Anyway. Here's the thing. Today's all about amethyst. Today's all about
Today's all about us coming back to join you to bring you some more fun
We're
and
back.
games.
We'll be having 2
We're
episodes
back.
a month for a while, and hopefully we'll build up to an episode a week. But right now it'll be 2 episodes a month, and they're probably going to be a little shorter until we get back in the habit of doing this. So the minimum show is supposed to be 30 minutes. Are you tracking time?
17 and a half minutes.
Wow, we got a bunch of time left. Okay, let's get
Well,
boring.
you're
Here
not,
it is.
you're not done. You have stuff on the table you haven't shown.
Yeah,
We do.
AKA the point mom was flashing, but she didn't talk about
this
it.
one.
AKA the little bowl.
So this little guy right here is, you can call it a free form, you can call it a point, you can call it a tower, you can call it whatever you want. But this is a glorious piece of Brazil amethyst. And again, whenever something comes out of the ground, when there's some kind of damage, instead of discarding it, we work with a miner who actually feels to keep the integrity of the stone and create a very useful tool with it. So this is a very useful tool. It's a great altar piece. It'd be a great piece for your desk. So, people say, well, how do I use my stones once I have them? Well, if you have an altar or a sacred space that you like to put your beautiful stones, this would be a beautiful addition. You can create crystal grids. You can put them on your nightstand, on your dresser, your coffee table, however it works for you. And this is about whatever feels good and resonates for you. It's not about, oh, it has to sit here, it has to sit there. It doesn't have to look a certain way. This is about you, your journey, what resonates with you. So here's this.
So when we tell you
guy.
the attributes of the different stones and crystals that we're going to be talking about, so there's 2 trains of thought here. One is the ones the books say, and you're not going to get a lot of the book stuff out of me. You're not. My wife has got that stuff all down pat. Okay, and then she can tell you how she feels about it as well. Me, I'm more about what does this do for me, so that when I'm talking to somebody that comes to the shop, or if I'm talking to somebody long distance and I'm talking about what's going on, I talk about what it does for me. It may not do the exact same thing for you. However, it is common to do some of the things pretty much for everybody. The calmingness. In fact, let me start out with this. Okay, these little ones are $3 a piece. Are you kidding me? You can put one of these in your pocket and you walk around.
Or your bracket or your jacket.
Yep.
TMI.
Well, that's what people put them.
Nobody puts it in their jock. You ladies
You
may
don't know.
You ladies may put it in. We already have something in our jock. We
All
don't
those
need
who
to
put
worry
it
about
in your
it.
jacket, raise your hand. I saw 3 hands raised. You're now voted.
My hands don't count, thanks.
Anyway, the idea is that you can put it in your pocket, and if you're feeling tense in a conversation, you can stick your hand in your pocket and without anybody knowing, put your hand around Amethyst and go, I don't care what you're saying, doesn't matter. Okay, next, I want to read something. This is really cool. Amethyst. This is an extremely powerful and protective stone with a high spiritual vibration. It enhances higher states of consciousness and meditation, has strong healing and cleansing powers, and enhances spiritual awareness. There's a whole bunch more here, but I think those first couple of sentences say it all for me.
I'm going to read the next sentence because I find it interesting. It was worn to prevent drunkenness and has a sobering effect on overindulgence, supporting sobriety. So again, if you're working on making a lifestyle change, this stone can assist you on many levels. And it doesn't have to be a big giant piece. It can be something as small as a pocket stone. They're tumbled stones. We even have small rough pieces if you prefer to have it rough unpolished. So it's whatever works with you. Jewelry. I don't have any amethyst on here, but jewelry is another great way to do it. I.e. pendants, necklaces, bracelets, rings, earrings. However it works for you. And it's going to go back to it doesn't have to look a certain way. Choose what resonates with you. And if a jacket resonates with you...
Oh, stop. So here's the thing. Some of you live close enough that you can just drop in on after work. We do have some of you visiting from California these days, and Idaho, and Wyoming, and Montana. You know, we are getting out there. One of our suppliers actually asked me what I was doing one day about early this year, very early this year. And I asked him why, and he's one of the largest suppliers in the country. And he says, well, I have people in New York and in Florida asking who the hell Treasures and Creations is. So thank you all for recognizing us, because we love it. We're here to assist you in many different ways. And as you can tell, Trish and I still, we're madly in love after 20 some years, and we still, people tease us, Mom and Dad are at it again, but
Yeah.
you know what? We don't care what they think. We know what we're doing. So Amethyst. Amethyst is amazing, and you can use it as a healing stone, and we can show you this. For those of you that are further away, you can call us, and for those of you that are outside the country,
We can do on the phone, FaceTime type thing.
You can email us, and we can set up a time where we can manage it live with, is it called WhatsApp or something?
I can use WhatsApp, I can use Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, however works for
FaceTime.
you.
We have-
FaceTime.
We have all kinds of different methods for you people that
We have
are
options.
not close enough to drop by the shop. We even have people right here in Utah that sometimes just don't have time, and they watch one of our Facebooks or something, and they say,
One of our live shows. and
they're watching a
flash
live
it up.
show, and they say, absolutely have to have that. I don't have time to come get it. Can you ship it to me? And we ship it 50
We
miles
invoice
away.
and ship, so it's cool.
So keep in mind, our goal is to assist you to learn about crystals and stones. And by the way, since we're not geologists, we'll learn more about the stones and crystals
And we're not
ourselves.
doctors, so we speak from personal experience.
Yeah, anything that
That's
we
our
tell you about,
disclaimer.
anything that we tell you about healing is what we personally believe. The medical profession may totally disagree with us, and that's okay.
I don't always agree with the medical profession.
If you
so
need
that's-
a doctor, please go to the doctor. Otherwise, if you've got long-term time to work on something, that's the difference between
You get to
Western
choose
medicine.
what works for you.
That's the difference between Western medicine and Eastern medicine. Western medicine is for emergencies. Eastern medicine is a more long-term thing. And you will find that when you use some of these as tools like that,
Create a balance.
you will be able to feel it, and we can teach you how.
Okay, you said you wanted to show that other, we can just have Kim get a picture of it